stop sandwiched in the middle of it. So you have to execute. The margin for error is 0, and the 12 is doing it. Let's get a report from Kim.
Yeah, and right now Ryan Blaney has been quiet on the radio. The majority of the chatter has been from his spotter, Tim Buell, just giving him some lap cards that are front. What he's going to have to do to get around them. Let's look at Carson Hosmer running that second position. Yes, would he love to win this race? Absolutely, but bigger than that, they have been fast this year that they just have not had
Careful,
the finish.
I sprained my ankle.
Sprained mine.
Leave it. There's a deal on a knot right here, the danger popping
He
out.
always goes into these races in the last 50 to 80 laps thinking what's going to happen now. So a second place finish, despite losing a win, would still be a big day for this team.
It's a great point of
But it could have hurt before that. It just made it hurt.
Last week, the engine expired after such a great 2/3 of the Coca-Cola 600. But Dale, you and I talked about it. Adam, you know, that experience. We can talk about simulators and studying and notes and all those things, but sometimes you just have to do it. And last week he did it. You'll see hand out the window right here. I think he's just thanking maybe for somebody who's letting him go. Oh, he's waving the 3 by right here.
Interesting.
Yeah, so right there.
I think
only 4 off the cut line.
Yeah, the 3 pitted so much later. He's got a little bit better tire, so he's trying to let it go by. He must know that he's struggling with the comfort of his race car, and he doesn't, he doesn't want that 3 back here pestering him a little bit. He's trying to maintain this spot. He knows that Denny's coming and close it in. Continue. He's like, what are you doing? Racing Insights. Racing Insights giving us the numbers on Blaney. First on long run speed. Overall speed outstanding as well.
I told you the host of our camera. Yeah, hand signals, we got it all. Carson's got it all.
He does not disappoint.
No. And I think he's going to become a fan favorite. I think some are going to really not like him. If you're a Ricky Stenhouse fan, you probably don't love Carson Hosmer today. But if people like personality, and Carson Hosmer does not lack the personality.
I would say he's found the balance, but if we're being honest, he's crossed the line a lot. Not afraid,
Yeah,
not apologetic.
9, he comes home at 9:15 a lot. Well, he definitely misses his curfew.
Night's not over yet. He's still got to hold off this 11 car of Denny Hamlin. I think the 77's kind of stalled out here in traffic. Now he's riding on board the National Debt Relief camera with Denny. He's not closing the gap as quick as I thought he would because he pitted so late. He's got a little bit of a tire advantage, but he's going to try to use this traffic. See if he can't get this second position away.
Dale, you and I know, though, when we get to that point in the race where we're trying to show you all the battles we see around the racetrack, but there are 1,000 of moments that we just saw with Carson with hands going in the air. Who are at this racetrack is so frustrated with the guy in front of them that their patience is just going to snap with 12 to go.
Right there, what we saw, Denny goes to the top of the racetrack, and he'll go get some clean air. It didn't work. Hosevar actually gained time on him. What's happened is we've gotten late into this race, it's gotten bottom dominant. The track's cooled off, and the cars now are feeding it down the racetrack to where the grip and the speed is. You can run that higher line, but it's not as fast just because it's more feet. And so where that was working for these teams earlier in the daylight or later in the evening, it's not an option anymore late in this race. So this will be a tough pass for Denny. A good little battle right here between these three. Chastain, Christopher Bell, Reddick trying to claw back into it. I've seen these 45 and 20 side by side too many times for the last several laps as they keep going at it. They're kind of both hung up behind the one, and they keep trading the spot back and forth between each other.
Yeah, definitely.
Multiple laps side by side. Chastain not going to win 2 in a row, it wouldn't appear. But when you think about their performance connecting Saturday to Sunday, really finding a good space is that one team.
Well, you talk about performance, when it matters most. How about performance under pressure? We well documented Denny Hamlin has a baby on the way. Due day, I think this is this weekend. He's here. It's also a 700th career start. And look at this list. The who's who of 700 starts from the Ironman Ricky Rudd at 8, Bobby Allison, Rusty, Harvick, Richard, and Jeff Gordon. No one's ever rang the bell. No one's ever gone to victory lane on their 700th career start. Denny Hamlin, currently third. He would match Jeff Gordon back in Darlington, May 2013. It would be a heck of a name. He's got to be on the list. It's just a question of what's the number that's going to be next to his name.
Hey, win or not, at 44 years old, he's already won a couple of times this year. What this guy is doing is just remarkable over such a long period of time. Talking about Denny Hamlin, third right now.
tonight. You see the stopwatch in our pylon. Xfinity will pay a point at the end of the evening for that. 8 laps to go for Blaney.
Bottom of the screen there. Looked like Reddick was putting the fight to Chastain for position. Oh, the one. Chastain loses a little bit of grip off turn 2 there. Here comes Reddick to the inside. This is for 9th. Just not the night we expected out of Chastain, but still, you know, coming off a 600 win, running in the top 10 all night with Trackhouse. I know they wanted more, but they've struggled this year. They're making some gains. We talked about SVG running better over the last several weeks at the ovals. Suarez back there in 14th. Might lose another spot here to Christopher Bell. Looks like this one car has just lost all the tires here late in the race.
This is that moment in the race where I know drivers take absolute pride that they can find just a little more with 7 or 6 to go, right? Try to hold that one guy off or go get that 1 point. Oh, this is going to get tight to 66. Bell's going to try to use the pick, but 66 does a nice job. Just pulls right.
Ross fires it off down in turn 1, trying to hang on that outside, and he's going to be able to do it down the back straightaway here. And behind him, Kyle Busch in that number 8 car.
This thing had the hood up on like the second pit stop, adjusting shocks, and here he is at 12th.
He had a rough couple of weeks.
When you think about everything that's gone wrong and where they are in relation to
Jeez, Bell and Chastain are really
if they could just
fighting
get on
here.
the positive side of it, all of a sudden, second half of the regular season could be good to them. And his only top 5 this year came on the road course in Austin, Texas, Circuit of the Americas. With all these road course races, maybe that's a chance for the 8 to get it going in the right direction. 5 to go in the event tonight.
And you got to credit Kyle Busch, always maintaining a good attitude and fighting hard in that 8 car and giving them a shot, right? If they're a team that's kind of struggling to be able to put the pace out there, but he gives them a chance every time he gets behind the wheel.
And now is the point where the last thing Ryan Blaney wants to hear is about a caution. He wants to see that white flag, get this race official.
We saw this car in practice, phenomenal lap times. The cars all practice in 2 groups, so it's kind of hard to really tell who's great. But this 12 car,
Kyle Busch spins around, slams the outside wall.
all year
It's
long.
about
Some
time
issues,
you wanna do it.
blown motors, things like that, that not allow them to get the win, to get the finishes that they deserve. But you mentioned it earlier in the weekend, Steve. You got that speed. That's the hardest thing to obtain.
I mean, you can't say he didn't deserve it.
Because if you keep showing up to the racetrack with fast race cars, nights like tonight happen.
Yeah, 10th full-time season, right, was the champ back in 23. 13 wins, and those disappointments, those DNFs, I think if he's fortunate enough to lead for these last 2 laps, we're going to see an emotional celebration out of this 12 team, because it's easy to say the DNFs don't matter until you have the win. Then they really don't, because then you're playoff bound, then you can kind of just freewheel it. After they have won, it wouldn't surprise me if this 12 car just continues to win races.
You referenced the championship in 23. Big walk-off win last fall at Martinsville to make the championship for a season ago. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Yeah, Barry 30th was pretty disappointing.
Now Blaney can cruise. Only driver of Team Penske that's with us so far this year. They came to play tonight. Car into 3 and 4. It's going to be a Nashville night to remember. Ryan Blaney is the man in Music City.